The Mermaid Princess.
Good morning, Mother. Where are my princesses?
Oh, they are all doing their work.
You have brought my daughters up well, Mother.
Yes, they are growing up to be beautiful and wise mermaids.
The 6 beautiful mermaid princesses come gliding into the Queen's chamber.
Grandma, look at the beautiful things we have collected.
The Queen looks at her youngest granddaughter.
My child, you do not seem to have brought back anything.
Grandma, the beautiful red flowers outside the castle give me more pleasure, and I am happiest when you tell me tales of the wonderful world above the sea.
You shall see everything once you turn 15.
Oh, Grandma, that is so long, long away.
Till then, your sisters will tell you what they see.
When the eldest princess turned 15, she rose above the sea to see the world beyond.
Hello, Grandma. Oh, dear sisters, I laid on a sandbank under the shining moonlight. I saw glimpses of a town and heard the sounds of music, and I even saw carriages go by.
Soon, it was time for the second princess to see the world.
When I rose up, the sun was setting and looked like a ball of orange fire. Soft clouds floated about lazily, and a flock of graceful white swans flew past. It was like a dreamland.
It was now time for the third princess to rise to the surface.
Oh, dear sisters, I swam up a white river. You cannot imagine the sights I saw. Green hills, magnificent trees and plants. And I even saw little human children. But then a weird creature came running towards me, making awful noises, and I had to quickly swim away. The children were asking why the dog was barking so much, so I guessed that horrible thing was a dog.
Soon came time for the fourth princess to venture forth to see the world. But she was very shy and just stayed in the ocean.
Well, I stayed in the middle of the ocean. But I did see some naughty dolphins splashing. There were also some huge whales, but I was scared to go near them.
What? You really did not go near the land?
How can you be so boring? You can see the sea any time, you silly thing.
Finally, the youngest princess turned 15.
Well, my precious, your dream is now going to be fulfilled. Go.
The princess rose above the sea.
Ah, the color of the sea is like emeralds. The icebergs look like beautiful pearls. The stars above are glittering like the diamonds on Grandma's tiara.
Soon, the princess's curiosity was aroused by a ship afloat nearby. She swam close to it, and every time the waves lifted her up, she could see the people on the ship. They were singing and dancing, as though celebrating.
What beautiful clothes they are wearing.
Suddenly, the princess saw the most handsome young man with beautiful brown eyes. As she was gazing at him, everyone on the ship started clapping. The princess realized that this grand celebration was for his 16th birthday.
Ooh, he is so good looking. And such a sweet 16 to my 15.
Suddenly, the calm of the sea soon turned into a restless grumble, and the lashing waves and heavy clouds and lightning indicated a massive storm brewing up. Huge waves tossed the ship about, and the ship tilted over. To her dismay, the princess saw the prince sink into the deep waters.
Oh, my darling prince is going down into the ocean. Maybe I can now live with him. What am I thinking of? Humans cannot live underwater. I have to save him.
The princess looked frantically all around and finally spotted the prince. She held him in her slender but strong arms, swam with him to the surface of the water. Then, keeping his head adrift, she led him to a beach. The next morning, The sun rose on a once again calm sea. The prince's eyes remained closed, but the sun's rays brought some color to his ashen cheeks. The princess kissed his high and smooth forehead and stroked back his wet hair. Suddenly, she heard the chattering of some young girls and quickly swam away and hid herself among some high rocks. She watched as one girl approached the prince and then went to call the others for help.
My darling prince is coming to life. How happy I am. Will he remember how I saved him?
The princess slowly made her way to her father's castle. She became very quiet and did not tell her sisters what had happened. Often, she would visit the place where she had left the handsome prince, but she never saw him and became more sad. Finally, she shared her misery with her sister.
Oh, my dear, why did you not share this with anyone? Don't worry. We will see what we can do to help you.
Thank you, dear sister. I was afraid you would make fun of me for falling in love with a human prince.
Well, it is very foolish. But you are our sister and we have to help you.
Sisters, my friends know where the prince's palace is.
What are we waiting for? Let's go!
The princesses rose to the surface near the prince's palace.
The palace shore is very beautiful.
Oh, those beautiful marble statues. I wish one of them would kiss me.
Stop acting silly.
Oh, I was just kidding.
I think I better take you all back home before you create any trouble.
The princesses reluctantly made their way back to the castle.
Now I know where my darling prince lives. I can come any time to see him. I wonder if he remembers I saved his life.
The princess now wanted to know more about humans, so she went to her grandma.
Tell me, Grandma, do humans never die?
Silly child, of course humans die. They live shorter lives than us. When we die, we become the foam on the water's surface. The humans have immortal souls and only their body dies.
Grandma, how can I get an immortal soul?
Well, if you find a man who loved you so much that he would be willing to marry to you, that could happen. But child, the fishtail that you have, which is considered so beautiful in our world, is considered ugly in the human world.
I will not give up my love so easily. Let me see if the sea witch can help me.
Ah, who do we have here? Come, come, I have been expecting you. So the princess wishes to become a human to win over the heart of her charming prince.
Oh, madam, please help me.
I will give you a magic potion. Swim with it to land tomorrow before sunrise and drink it on the shore, and you will be transformed into a beautiful and graceful young lady.
Really? Will you do that for me?
Hold your horses, princess. When your fishtail changes to 2 human legs, you will feel a searing pain, and every step you take will feel like you are treading on sharp knives. Once you become a human being, you can never become a mermaid again. Never be able to go down to the depths of the sea to see your family.
Oh, I will do anything for my love.
My price for granting you this wish would be your sweet voice.
What? Oh, how can you be so cruel?
Well, I am a witch, you know.
How will I tell my prince of my love?
You can show your love for him with your expressions. expressive eyes.
Thus, the princess changed to a human. She had severe pain when it happened, but her pain seemed to vanish when she saw the prince. And the prince also could not take his eyes off the beautiful maiden.
Where have you come from, pretty lady?
The princess could not reply and just stared at him.
You cannot speak?
The princess shook her head, and seeing her pained expression, the prince took her hand.
Hey, it's okay. I can see in your eyes what you are thinking. Come with me to the palace.
The mermaid was dressed in beautiful clothes and precious jewels. The king and queen were enthralled with her beauty and grace. Everyone enjoyed the graceful dance movements of the princess, which she performed with severe pain. Very often, the princess would catch a puzzled look on the prince's face, and one day he asked her,
I don't know why, but you seem very familiar.
However, the prince did not show any signs of recognizing her, and the princess's hopes began to fade. Soon, she heard the prince was going to marry the princess of a neighboring kingdom.
Oh no! If the prince marries someone else, that will be the end of my life as a human.
The prince's wedding was to be held on a ship. The mermaid princess gazed mournfully at the ocean and suddenly spotted her sisters, all of them with their heads shorn of their beautiful tresses, waving wildly at her.
What are you all doing here, and what have you all done with your beautiful hair?
We could not see your misery anymore, so we begged the witch to give you back your voice in exchange for our hair.
Thank you so much, dear sisters. But the prince is marrying someone else.
You silly girl. Go and tell him you can speak now.
No, I cannot do it, even if it breaks my heart.
The princess dove into the ocean, knowing she would drown, as she was no longer a mermaid. Someone saw her jumping and ran to inform the prince. The prince dove down after her and brought her up.
Now I remember why I thought I knew you. You're the one who saved me in the shipwreck. I love you, my darling, and it does not matter to me if you cannot speak.
The prince took the mermaid princess to the ship.
Father, forgive me, but I cannot marry anyone else. This is my beloved.
The prince placed the wedding band on his beloved's finger. As soon as he did so, the princess's melodious voice returned.
My darling, you can speak? Oh, this is the happiest day of my life.
I can now look forward to a wonderful life with my beloved prince and see my sisters when they come up from the sea.
Cinderella. There once lived a pretty young girl called Cinderella, with her father, stepmother, and two stepsisters called Drizella and Anastasia. The stepmother and her daughters were very cruel, making Cinderella do all the chores.
Cinderella! Cinderella! Look at the time! Cinderella still hasn't brought in my tea. Ooh, I feel a headache starting.
I'm sorry, Mother.
Stop making excuses, you lazy girl.
Just then, Anastasia calls out for Cinderella.
Where has that lazy thing gone? Where is my dress you were supposed to iron?
I was just going to bring it up to you.
Look at you, you filthy thing. Wash yourself before you touch my dress, dirty wretch.
This was poor Cinderella's life. Every day she toiled from morning to night, doing all the household work. Every night, tired, she went up to the attic, where she slept on a bed of straw. One morning, when Cinderella was in the kitchen, she heard her stepmother and sisters talking very excitedly.
Mama, this is an invitation for the prince's ball. He has invited all the pretty ladies of the kingdom to find his bride among them. Mother, Anastasia, we have to visit the dressmaker to make beautiful gowns. Oh, I'm so excited.
I am going to get a green gown and wear my lovely emeralds with it.
And I will get a gown in ice blue and wear my dazzling diamonds and sapphires with it.
My daughters will be the belles of the ball, I'm sure.
The next few days, Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters visited dressmakers, hairstylists, jewelers, and shoe shops, while poor Cinderella did all the work. Finally, the day of the ball arrived. With Drizella, Anastasia, and their mother getting dressed, each kept calling out for Cinderella to help them get dressed and make last-minute touches to their makeup.
The coach has already arrived. We'd better leave if we are not to be late.
Cinderella's father, stepmother, and stepsisters left for the ball, and Cinderella kept looking till they were out of sight. She then went to the kitchen and sat down among the cinders.
Oh, Mama, why did you go away and leave me?
Suddenly, a blue light filled the room. Cinderella rubbed her eyes to see clearly and saw a queer old lady with soft white curls on her head. Her dress had flounces and jewels sparkled on her dress. In her hand she had a wand, the tip of which glowed blue.
Who are you?
I am your fairy godmother. Now, stop crying and tell me what the matter is.
Nothing is the matter.
Then why are tears streaming down your cheeks? Ah, I see. You're upset because you could not go to the prince's ball with your parents and sisters. Now stop crying. You are going to the ball.
Really? I can go to the ball?
Of course, my dear.
But how, Godmother? I have nothing to wear and no way of going there.
Can you get me a large pumpkin?
A pumpkin? What for?
You ask too many questions, child. Just do as you are told.
Cinderella brought a big fat pumpkin from the garden. The fairy touched it with her wand, and before Cinderella's amazed eyes, the pumpkin changed into a beautiful coach.
Now we need 6 horses to draw the coach. Go and fetch me 6 mice.
Cinderella quickly got the mousetrap from the kitchen corner. The fairy touched the mice with her wand, and they immediately turned into 6 beautiful horses. Next, the fairy godmother changed a nice fat rat with big whiskers to a coachman, and 6 lizards into footmen.
Well, there we go. All set for the ball. Now why do you have that gloomy look on your face?
Fairy Godmother, how can I go to the ball dressed in these rags?
Silly child. I haven't forgotten about your clothes. Come here, stand in front of me.
One touch of her wand, and lo and behold, she was transformed into an absolutely beautiful princess, in a shimmering dress of gold and silver with shining precious stones. Her hair was piled up into a fashionable style with a dazzling tiara on top, and on her small, slim and pretty feet were 2 pretty glass slippers.
Oh, Godmother, is this me?
Yes, dear, it is indeed you. You're beautiful to look at, and a loving soul also. Now off you go to the ball.
Cinderella hugged her fairy godmother and started towards the coach.
Just a minute, child. Remember, my power will stop at the stroke of midnight. The coach shall become a pumpkin, and you shall be back in your rags. So make sure you are home before the clock strikes midnight.
I will remember that. Thank you so much for everything, and goodbye.
Cinderella sat in the fancy coach and left for the ball. When she reached, the ball had already started. As Cinderella stepped in, everyone turned to look at her. Cinderella stood uncertainly at the door, when the prince himself came forward to guide her in.
I don't think I have ever seen anyone as beautiful as you. Would you please dance with me?
Cinderella let the prince guide her to the dance floor. She couldn't believe that the prince himself wanted to dance with her.
Who is that creature, Anastasia? Doesn't she look familiar? She is a bit pretty, but she can't compare with us.
The prince shall soon leave her and make his way to us.
However, the prince couldn't take his eyes off Cinderella. Cinderella had never enjoyed herself so much in her entire life. When she glanced at the clock, it was about to strike 12. She pulled herself away from the prince and ran down the stairs. In her hurry to leave, one of her little glass slippers fell off. The prince ran after her, but Cinderella was nowhere in sight. As he turned away, Cinderella's little glass slipper caught his eye.
This is the slipper of the lovely lady I have spent the evening with. This has to be love, for I cannot think of a life without her now. Oh, my love, I will find you and will make you mine.
The next morning, the prince called for his courtiers.
Take this glass slipper to every corner of the kingdom till you find the fair lady whose foot it fits.
The courtiers went to each and every home to search for the prince's sweetheart. Finally, they reached the house where Cinderella lived.
We have been sent by the prince. All the fair ladies in this house are requested to please try on this slipper. The one whose foot fits this slipper shall be the prince's chosen wife.
Drizella, come quick. The prince's courtier has come with a slipper. The prince will marry the one it fits.
Oh, I'm sure I'm going to be the chosen one. You may try it on also if it makes you happy, sister.
Always full of yourself as usual. Here, boy, let me try it on.
Anastasia tried the slipper on, but no way would her large foot fit into the tiny slipper.
I don't think that slipper can fit anyone other than a child.
Drizella then tried the slipper. Her foot was slimmer than Anastasia's, but it would not fit into the slipper, though she tried to squeeze it in every way possible.
Excuse me, ladies, is there any other lady in this house?
Of course not. You are just wasting your time. No way will this fit the foot of a lady.
As the courtiers were about to leave, they caught sight of Cinderella near the kitchen door.
This young lady has not tried on the slipper. Please, this way.
Oh, I don't think.
Come. Every lady must try it on.
Cinderella came forward shyly and hesitantly to try on the slipper. She slid it on, and the slipper fit her perfectly. Her stepmother and sisters were shocked.
When did she go to the ball? I don't believe this. Oh, will someone get me my smelling salts?
We have good news, Prince. We have with us the young lady whose foot perfectly fit the glass slipper.
The prince immediately recognized Cinderella, even though she was not wearing the grand clothes that she was wearing on the day of the ball. The king and queen were also overjoyed that their son had chosen such a beautiful bride.
My darling, I would have recognized you no matter what you wore. You have stolen my heart, and I cannot wait to make you my princess.
There was great feasting and rejoicing in the kingdom when the prince married Cinderella. However, the good soul that Cinderella was, she forgave her family.
I am blessed to find such a wonderful husband. I shall request him to allow my family to stay at the palace also. I wish I could see my dear godmother just once more to thank her.
Cinderella and her prince lived happily for many years, ruling wisely over their kingdom.